Hey, this is TimmyG. Welcome to episode 5 of Producing with Logic Pro stock plugins. In this episode, we're going to be making a dubstep track only using the mono synth, the ESM, in Logic Pro. The whole purpose of this series is to show you that you can make some pretty cool sounds only using the plugins given to you in Logic Pro. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Alright, so before we get started, I wanted to say that I was recording this yesterday, and it did not go well. The first half that I recorded is basically useless. For some reason, the video stopped recording like 5 minutes after, so I don't know why QuickTime did that. It was probably just some glitch. But anyway, I have a second part, which is good, and you'll see that shortly. But I'm basically just going to go over what basically you missed. So I started off by showing the drum beat. So I'm going to play that right now. So you can hear that it has a triplet-y feel. The next thing that I did was I worked on the sub bass. Now the sub bass is a little bit different, and you'll see later in the video, if you last that long, that I ended up fixing the sub. So I'll just play the sub right now, just a little bit of it, and show you how I made it. Here's the sub, and I'll show you what I did. So here's the EQ. I took the ESM and just picked a default, no cutoff, because I cut that off of the EQ. So if I use musical typing, here's what it sounds like. My key is F for this track, by the way. So anyway, pretty simple. Without the filter here, that's what it sounds like. So I basically filtered everything out except for the higher overtones. So when we're only hearing the sub, which is good. And I actually cut off a little bit of the lows. I explained that the frequencies basically below 30 don't really sound all too great, and you don't really need them. So maybe for a kick you might want them, but for an actual tone with the sub bass, we do not want anything below probably 30. I went to a note to frequency chart, and I think that's what screwed up my last video recording. So I'm not going to do that right now. But anyway, that is how I made the sub. Very simple. I think I just took the default and went to the sawtooth wave and then put this on here. Sub bass is actually very simple. Actually, I have another video showing how to make a sub bass in Logic Pro using the ES2 synth as well. So anyway, moving on. The next thing that I did was, I think, one of the main basses. So I believe it's this instrument 6. So I have a ton of effects, so I'll kind of go through what I did quickly. But I'm going to turn these off and show you what I did. So I just took a default mono synth, and it doesn't really sound like a whole lot, but that's basically because I was messing with the parameters. My whole plan was to automate things and make them sound really cool. So I think I ended up automating the cutoff. You can hear some cool stuff there. The resonance I might have automated. Something like that, and even the mix. So basically, I did some automation there, and we'll see that in a minute. But I took the bit crusher. I used the bit crusher basically as a distortion plugin, and if you can see, distorted the absolute crap out of this. The drive is all the way up, and I have this down to 10, so it's going to be as crunchy as possible. So let's see what that sounds like. Okay, and once again, with automation, it's going to sound different. So you can already see that we're starting to get something really crazy. And then I cut off some of the bass notes because we have the sub doing that. I added an ensemble here. I really like this ensemble plugin. I used it a lot in this video. So I basically just picked a preset and then adjusted the output mix. So I just have it 25%, which is cool. It adds some stereo. So you can hear the stereo difference when it's on or off. And then I added some flanger. what I did is I just picked a preset. This is the notch flanger, and then adjusted the mix. Same thing with the phaser. And if you see that none of these effects that I have are all too high, the ensemble is 25%, the flanger is 14%, the phaser is 12%. So it's not a whole lot from any one in particular, but all of them together starts to build a pretty cool sound. Then I have my last craziness as the fat effects, and I went down and picked the massive wobbly preset. Let's see where this is. Massive wobbly. But I didn't want to wobble it from here. You could wobble it from the fat effects. So I just turned the LFO off. And then let's see what we get here with all those effects. So that's pretty cool. And then if I mess with this, you see that we have some really cool potential here if I automate this. So anyway, I will close that and close this. I added another EQ because the fat effects can sometimes produce low frequency noises even if we don't want them. And then I added a little bit of reverb, not a lot. The Space Designer, I just picked the Plaster Hall preset and set it super low, but not 0. And then I put this bit crusher on here just to add a little bit more crunch. So here's what that automated thing sounded like. So I took that, and here I'll show you what I automated really quickly. So I'm zooming in. So here's the mix. I'm automating. I have it kind of going up and then straight down for that mix knob, which is here. I'll pull this up right here. So if I play this, you'll be able to see whatever I'm automating. So that was the mix, the cutoff. And then I am also modulating the flanger mix just a little bit. Oh, actually, no, there's no automation there, but in other bases that I made, there is. Let's see what else I have. Phaser, same. Big crusher. Okay, so for this one, my first bass that I made, I only automated those two things and just had a lot of other effects. So, and I didn't have any direct plan on making it this way. I was just experimenting the whole time, and you'll see later this video when the recording actually worked for the first time that a lot of it is really just experimentation and finding sounds that work and then figuring out a way to manipulate them. Anyway, to get out of the automation here, the next thing that I did is I bounced this entire region out as an audio file. So if I right clicked and did bounce in place. I'll just do it again just because why not? And then it created this thing. So I will turn this volume down because it's going to be super loud because I normalized it. And then I took this right here and then I chopped this up into other bass notes. If you saw the first episode of Producing with Logic Pro stock plugins that I put out a while ago, this is a method that I use. You basically automate a bunch of parameters on a synthesizer and then chop it up and find things that you can use, and then you can manipulate the audio further. So what I ended up doing, let me find it, I made part of the drop. So I'm going to mute this. So here's my entire full drop. You'll hear that in a little bit. But I made the offbeat part of the drop, and I made some other things. So let me mute everything that I didn't have up till this point. So I believe I ended up making this. I'll do solo this. Sorry about that. And I am going to turn all these effects off because at this point I did not have any of these effects on. So here's what it sounded like. So I had something like this, and I'll just briefly go through what I did. And actually, if you see right here, this is the original thing that I just bounced out. It's the same exact thing that I bounced just a minute ago. And you see that I cut some stuff here, and then I did some manipulation. So this was part of a chunk, probably one of these things. And I made it a little longer, and I used the fade tool to speed down. So I just right clicked well, actually, I use Alt click because that's my alternate click, the fade tool right here. And then to make it a slowdown, you just hit from fade to slow down. And it sounds like a record is stopping really quickly. So like if I just do this note right here, like the very end, you probably can't even tell here, but if I made this more intense, it kind of like slows down and gets lower pitched. Anyway, the other thing that I did was this thing that I thought was cool. What I did is I took like a sample there, and if I go to my region, this is not transposed at all, but to get that kind of pitch rising that we have, I just made these triplet notes half of a semitone more each time. So this one is plus 50, and then if you add 50 again, that gives you to another entire semitone, so it's plus 1, and then 150, 2, and then 250. And then I slightly altered these things for this. These regions right here are very similar to this. So if I do this, I just chopped it. Instead of having one quarter note, I did like, I snuck in 2 like triplets that, how do I explain this? So 1/6 and 1/12 note. And then over here, what I did is I did the exact same thing as this, but instead of going up, it went down. So, and that is about all I had so far. Once again, sorry that you didn't see the entire process of how I did it. This was everything in a nutshell. But anyway, this video is going to be super long anyway, so I think it's not a huge deal. But let's get back to the regular part of the episode. All right, so I'm liking the way that this is sounding so far. I kind of like the way that I have basically put in the backbone of the first half of this 8-bar drop. So I think now I'm going to try to make another bass that can fill in some of these gaps. So I'm going to go back to our automated instrument here that we have, our mono synth. And I'm gonna duplicate this track. I hit Command D, and I will copy the original one. So, and I kind of want a bit crusher sound, like the yoy sound. So let's see what I can do here. I'm gonna turn the down sampling up. Let's see what happens if I automate it. I know I have another bit crusher on here, so let's see what happens if I mess with the other one, the one that's at the very beginning of the stack. Well, let me play around with that automation. Maybe I'll automate both. So I'll go to Bit Crusher, down sampling, zoom in here. Here we go. And we'll start it low. And we'll just go all the way up. We'll see what that sounds like. So I think we don't want to go much higher than 10. Let's see. Maybe 15. Let's try. Maybe a little faster. And then I'm also going to try messing with this other bit crusher's downsampling. Maybe that'll make it more intense. And maybe we'll have it go back. And I'll have the other one go back too. I'll put this in the middle, actually. Sorry, you guys are hearing my completely unfiltered thoughts right now. And I'm gonna mess with some of the other stuff too. Let's see what messing with the cutoff does for this bit crusher. Oh, you know what? Bit crushers work really great with a gliding note. So, sorry if that's too loud. And I'm going to make sure the glide is up a lot here. I might use something like this in the background. All right, I automated it. Let's go back to this second one. Let's have it go much higher. Maybe just keep it or get it high pretty quickly. And we'll keep it high. Sorry, get out of the editor. Here we are. We could definitely work with that. Let's see. I'm just going to bounce this and see if we play around with it, see what we can do. So I'll turn this way down. I'm listening to this right here. Not really so much for a bass, but this could be a good background element to have, just like looping. Let's see what it sounds like looped. Maybe every quarter note. So this is definitely not what I was trying to do, but you know, sometimes accidents are happier than things that you are trying to do. So anyway, let me just edit this. And I'm just going to loop this. Like, I rarely use this looping function, but let's just see what it does. All right, I'm going to EQ this. Get the lows out of here. And maybe I'll add some effects. So let's do some ensemble. I really like this ensemble effect. It's very cool. I will pick, I think I did that last one, screen door. No, I think I did symphonic 5 voice. Well, I'll try screen door right now. All right, I like that. And maybe just a little bit of reverb. Space Designer. Nothing too crazy. Medium hall. Let's try medium indoor space. Basement. Let's see. Maybe a little bit lower, but I do like this here. Probably even a little bit lower, but I see that this accidentally played. All right, so the Yoi bass didn't really work out as great as I wanted to, but we did get a nice background element, which is cool. You know, I think I'm just going to start another bass from scratch. So I'm going to load another monophonic synth. Maybe I'll pick a preset right here. Resonant bass. Let's see what that sounds like. right, so I noticed that if this resonance is up, we can get some pretty cool things. So I'm going to try to do some other automation here. I really like the idea of automating this overdrive. This is our note right here. All right, so let's try to automate that overdrive. So I'm creating my new MIDI region. I believe this is the note. Yep. So let's see, we want to do our overdrive. I think I'm just going to leave the resonance up. So let's do that. So I'll hit A to automate. Go to ESM, definitely overdrive. Maybe start it a little bit lower. Let's see what this sounds like. Let me see if the it's not sounding as good as it was when I was just messing with it. That sounds probably too high. Well, I'll mess with the cutoff as well. Maybe that's not in the right spot. There we go. So I'll try something similar pattern. All right, that's getting high, but cool. I'll turn this down a bit. I like this. All right, I like the mix here. Okay, so let's fatten this up. I will EQ this. Lot of sub. All right, that's good. Bit crush, my favorite. Okay. Let's see what else I can add. Go to Fat Effects again. I'm going to try one of my Fat Effects presets. Mono to stereo, of course. We want this to be a stereo. I'm going to try my rhythm. See how that goes. Oh, that's cool. Once again, you can download this project if you want, and download this rhythm preset that I made. I don't even know when I made it, maybe a year or two ago, but I use it on a lot of my basses because it just makes it really fat. Let me just try the other one to you. I like rhythm better here. It's using some sort of intense distortion. Very drive, looks like. All right, maybe just some. I might color this up a bit with some flanger. I'll do some chorus this time. Actually, you know what? I'll do ensemble because I love this ensemble plugin. Let's try backing group. I don't like backing group. Ooh, doubler. Let's make this wider. I don't really hear a difference. All right, I like that. I'll refatten it up at the end with another bit crusher. I'll do one more modulation, I think. Let's see. I will get into ring shifter in another video. It is crazy. You can do some really cool stuff, but it sometimes gets hard to use and out of control. So I'll try a flanger, I think. No. I think this is just making it messy. I'll try something else. Clearly I spent very little time on that. So I will try maybe phaser. And I'll pick one, let's try scratch. I kind of like this. It doesn't really add a whole lot, but it adds a little squiggly thing in the background. And then I'm going to crush this again by just really just fatten it up. And then maybe some reverb. Let's see. Maybe a small indoor space. Let's try small space. I'm gonna cut off the lows here from reverberating. And I'm going to put one more EQ on here. And I have a lot of low stuff, so I'm going to cut that out anytime you use the fat effects. And actually, I see that my stuff is definitely not in phase down low, so I'm actually going to do a directional mixer after I cut out the lows. I'll make this a little bit lower. And then I will directional mixer. So that's under metering. No, imaging. There we go. And I like this because you can use a crossover. So I'll make this like 180 maybe. And I'll make this no spread at all. And then up here I'll spread it out a little bit. And actually if I move this over here, I'll move that back up to 200, I think. All right, cool. And I think I'll do one more bit crusher. I don't think that's doing anything, which is fine. Let's see what it sounds like downsample. right, we'll leave that for later. All right, I'm gonna bounce this. All right, I'll mute it. Put this volume down. See what we got here. All right, I am going to try to use this. So let's see. How loud is my other one? I made this a little too long. I'm actually gonna redo this and just make it a little bit like actually rhythmic. I usually make it longer than I need. Oops. And then I cut it up, but I think this one's fine. Oh, that's probably why. All right. I don't mind that. Let's try this. So here we go, super low. All right, let's see. I'll leave the tail, see what it sounds like. Maybe I'll chop up the second one. Let's try that. And leave some space. And fade out both of them. Let's see what it sounds like. It seems a bit rushed. One, two, da da da. I kind of like that. Let's see. I think I'm going to layer something on top of this. Maybe extend it a little bit. Yeah. Maybe make this one pitch higher. I didn't really notice that. I'll undo that. Let's try it. What happens if I slow this one down? I need something to fill this space, and let me copy this over, see what it sounds like a little bit. I'm gonna get rid of these, this kind of like chunkier one. Let's see. Okay, I like that fading in. I'm fading in right now. I'll give this a little bit more juice. All right, I'm going to delete that. I'll leave these for now. I might want to change this second one. Let's see. Maybe I'll cut up the other way. So okay, I like that. Let's see. Now you gotta fade this one. There we go. Okay, I'll copy this. I'm going to shorten this this bass a tad. I really like this part too. And then I'll adjust the sub in a minute. Okay, so I need basically one thing. Oh, okay, I know what I'm gonna do. A lot of times when I'm feeling that the sound's good but not great, I try to layer it, and the easiest thing that I could layer is probably just the everything raised one octave above. So let's see what that sounds like. 12 semitones above. Excellent. So I'm going to cut off a lot of this low stuff so it doesn't get too muddy. Let's see what that sounds like now. Here's it alone. All right, it definitely sounds brighter. I'm gonna put some sort of effect on here. Maybe, I think some more ensemble, to be honest. Because this is really just to add something to this. So let's see. That's much cleaner. I'll do like half, I'd say. See what it sounds like in the context. Okay, I think I'm going to turn maybe this down a little bit and the other one down a little bit. All right, cool. So I really just need one bass, let's say one half note bass filler that we can capitalize on. So I'm gonna go back to this because I like the presets we had on this. I like something like that. I'm gonna copy this. Yep, copy everything. Let's look at this automation. Maybe I'll start from the top. I don't even know what I'm automating right now, but I don't care because we could get something cool. Okay. I kind of like starting from the top right now. I like that a lot. Let's see. What else could I? Let's see. We have the mix. We have the cutoff. Let's see if I can. I'll automate the output mix of the phaser because why not? It's at 12 right now. Let's see if this sounds too phasey. I'm gonna zoom in. Here we go. Get it back down to 12. Maybe a little too phasey. Let's go to like to 30. I like that. I'm gonna automate some other effects. That's what I love about the automation. You can literally automate anything that moves on any of these plugins, which is great. Okay, that was phaser. Let's try flanger. Mix. Super low. 14. Let's go to like 29. I like it. Let's try, I'll even do some downsampling. Not a ton. Like 4x is the most. that was weird. Let's try a little bit more. No down sampling. I don't like it. You might like it. If you like it, do it. Let's see, maybe one more thing. So yeah, I've done the mix, the cutoff. I might change the MIDI note. Have this glide a bit. Let's see what that sounds like. Alright, doesn't make that much of a difference. That's why we try it. Alright, I'm going to bounce this. All right, so we got that. Turn this way down. See how fat that waveform is. Okay, maybe somewhere right there. All right, so where are we here? I want to put this right here. All right, I'm going to edit this slightly. I'd like it being the whole measure. I'm going to fade it. Oh, I'm totally breaking this up into like 1, 2, using the fade tool. Oh, I like that I like that a lot. Oh boy, that's really good. I'm gonna bring all my basses down. I might put some effects over all of them. So let's listen so far. I definitely want you to do something like this. Let me try the reverse order. So much for my pretty color scheme, right? I have all the stuff I did before the video and then all this green yuckiness. Oh, I like that too. Okay, cool. I really like what we have so far for our basses. Okay, I'm gonna copy and paste this whole thing and then we'll make some small edits. All right, I'm really liking this so far. So I'm thinking of changes to make. I'm gonna slightly change this. I think I'm gonna do 3 triplets right here. So. And they need to be a little bit louder. I could just make them louder in the mix too. I'm gonna zoom in. Oops. Can't find the space bar. See, I'm totally clipping. That's good news. I think I'll change this. And I'll change this to our triplets over here. And then this second one, I might change to this. And then I'll make this one a triplet as well. I'm just changing the rhythm. I could do more bass, but I've already been recording for so long, and I apologize for the long video. All right, and then for the last, this one right here, I'm just gonna join these five. No, I'm gonna delete these every other one, and then make these ones longer. All right, cool. So I think I'm done with the basses for now. So now I'm just gonna do background elements. I'll fix the sub, and then we will call it a day. All right, sounds good. I mean, if I was gonna make this a real track, I would probably clean some of that up. But this is just a video, and I'm happy with this so far. Anyway, the first mono bass instrument that we had, where is that? Maybe probably instrument 6. I heard a noise that I really liked. Maybe it was at the beginning. All right, let's do something like that. So I will. Okay, never mind. That didn't sound as good as I wanted to. Well, let's start from scratch. So here's the new mono synth. Oh. I'm gonna bit crush this right away. I'm going to put a fat effects on this. I'll use a preset. Let's do synth. All right, I like this enough. I'm going to distort this. All right, I'm not liking this, so I'm going to pick a preset. Let's see. A lot of basses, which makes sense. Let's try house organ. All right, I'm going to try some quick effects. I'm just going to do presets. So let's see, I have chorus. I'm going to do some tremolo. Do one more bit crusher. I'm gonna see how wide this is with my multimeter. Oh, it's wide. Okay. Okay. So I'm just gonna put this in the background. All right, and I'm gonna glide this up here from an octave below. Make sure the glide's up all the way. Let's see that. Yep. Let's see that. The glide's on too high. I'll turn it down a little bit. Maybe put the tremolo after the bit crusher. Yep, definitely. Okay. And some reverb. I forgot. Space Designer. I like this preset. Okay, I'm going to turn this way down. Okay, and then I'll extend this every 2 bars. And then for the second part, I'll have it go the other way. I'll have the notes be reversed. So I'll have this go. Yep. Okay. So normally I'd put a lot more background elements in here. All right, the last thing I'm going to do with the basses, so I have this. I'm going to turn this up, crank this a bit. All right, not terrible for background elements. I'm going to make a track stack with all these basses. Let's see, create track stack. Summing stack. Cut the lows. Oops, I left something on. Happens all the time. Yep, instrument 6. So I'm going to cut the lows. And then I'm going to put a little bit of echo. Tiny bit, like. Something like that, maybe a lot of feedback. And then some small reverb. Probably like small spaces, maybe outdoor or indoor. Let's try that. Refuse, let's see what that sounds like. I'm going to turn this up a bit. Okay. Last step is to fix the sub bass. All right, so now the sub is fixed. I am just going to sidechain everything to this kick. So this is chunky kick. So we'll put a sidechain compressor on this. I'll just hit this button right here. And sidechain to audio chunky kick. Let's see. Okay. So this obviously needs to be lower. More reverb. I'm going to put a little bit last bit crusher on this. I'm going to sidechain, use the same sidechain that I have. Oh, this should be in a different order. I want this to go to the sub, both subs. Oh, that was a glitch. And to house organ. Okay, and the last thing I'm going to do is turn up the snare a tad, turn up the clap a tad, even the kick a tad, and I want the cymbals to be up a bit. So I'll do that like 2, and I'll do this maybe, let's see. Perfect. So let's hear the, and I'll put a limiter on here. Adaptive limiter. All right, sounding good. I'm going to turn the sub up a little bit and then play it for the last time. And we will call it a night. All right, so we successfully made a dubstep drop using the mono synth. Now, it might not have been ideal at some points, but it forced us to be creative, and I think we came up with something really cool. I normally probably would have spent a lot more time on this, but I didn't want this YouTube video to be 11 hours, so yeah, that's about it. Once again, the link to this project file will be in the video description below, so check that out and download it if you'd like, but other than that, that's about it. If you like this video, or if it helped you out, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or video suggestions, be sure to leave a comment. If you want to see more content like this and check out my DJ videos, music production videos, or original music, be sure to subscribe to my channel. Thanks a lot.